not iCloud. All right, so let's just go over I'm just going to go over the calendar real quick, and then Kate's going to give us her rundown on Summit, and then Laura, why don't you give us your rundown, since you two were, well, Kate wasn't her first time, but Laura was your first time. And that'll be for our newbies for next year, which will be exciting. Hopefully, did everyone listen to the National Wake Up Call this week yet? It was very, very good. Isabel, again, goes over daily sunshine, and she talks about how she actually had it going with her son and the teacher. And so they did notice that his energy levels never crashed, and that his focus and energy was better all afternoon. So she gets more into that. And she's very funny. Her and Carl have this really cute little relationship. And so it's funny just to listen to them. But she does go over all of that. I did post right now, and then Christina's video in Dream Extreme, I tried to post. I think everybody in here got to watch it. Kathleen, if you want me to start tagging you on stuff, I can. And you can kind of see what we're talking about, since a lot of this won't make sense right now. But Christina just coming back from Summit, and as our millionaire upline, I love it where she says with her conviction. I mean, as a coach, it is your job to be running a Shift Shop challenge group. It's a brand new product coming out, right? She's like, so she tells you exactly what she's doing. So that's what I'm doing with my sneak peek. I started Shift Shop this week, and I'm creating a sneak peek so that people can see kind of a whole week's of workouts. Today I went live in there, shared the meal plan, and I'm just following what Christina's doing so that then we can create a shell. And then for every single month, that's what you should do that very first week of every single month. You run a sneak peek. You already have the shell no matter what. Think about it, even if it's 21-day fix. Once you video it, you have that shell. And then you can just pop in there and stay. So if you already have your videos, doesn't have to be live. You take your inches, kind of talk to people about the meal plans. And so I think that's a great duplicatable process. And every single month, first of the month, that's what you do. And then that would roll your month into inviting people, and I'm doing it for the very first time in the event. You know how normally we do an event and then we create a group? I'm skipping that whole group part. I'm just doing it in the event. Because you can go live in there now and everything, so why not? Caroline set hers up, right? You're doing the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
so I did everything in the event. Much easier.
It's much easier, and if it skips one process for it and simplifies it, great, right? And then those people, once you figure out where they want to go, then it's sorting them to your challenge group. If they didn't, and Paula, I talked about this with her, challenge group, if they're going to join you. If not, then I love Caroline's whole idea about a 5-day Shakeology sample week. So you could say, hey, you might not be interested. Maybe this is overwhelming and seems like too much. Would you be more interested in doing something 5 days with us and just trying Shakeology for 5 days? And then you could give them little workouts or whatever throughout that week. That would be kind of your week, 5-day challenge, whatever. And if they're like, no, not ready, then obviously you can decide where you want to put them, whether that's a free group that you choose to offer, or just say, hey, well, then maybe just follow me on my page, and when you're ready, let me know. And again, that question of, would you like me to reach out to you when I run my next challenge group? Joanne and I talked about this because as I'm getting into my cold market, I'm texting or I'm messaging people that I've never talked to, never met. They just like my page. I haven't really worked my page yet, really. I kind of always bounce back to my personal page. So I'm thinking about, and I'll let you guys know how this works, of letting them of giving them an opting out option. So like saying, hey, if you're not interested in me asking you about future challenge groups or free groups or learning about health and fitness, just reply with opt out. So think about that when you kind of think about, even if you are maybe dealing with friends that you don't know very well, friends that you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be asking them, I haven't talked to them in 30 years, right? Just be like, hey, if you're not interested, it's totally cool. Just reply with opt out. Now you can sort that person and never waste your time on them again, right? Find the ones that do. Don't worry about the ones that don't. So just, again, thinking about those, eliminating those people right away, and then putting your other people into your pipeline, if you will, creating that warm market. So make sure you get into Dream Extreme and watch Christina's video. I can't share it. We can't share it because it's a private group, and I can't figure out how to save the actual video. For this month, we're already in, I didn't see anything except for our Zoom call coming in the next month. I think our next month Zoom call will be on August 17th. That's the third Thursday of the month, like we did this one. And then after that, we have our Super Saturday. So just to get it on your calendars, we'd love for everyone to come and make this a good one. They are going to have 2 good speakers so far. We've gotten these people that we haven't heard before. So I think it's going to be exciting, and that's on September 23rd. So pencil that in so you can kind of plan around that. And then make sure, I talked to Paul about this too, we always have to be a beginner coach. Make sure you're logging on and always looking at that. It seems like Beachbody is coming out with so much all the time. Make sure you look at your news. Even if it's overwhelming every day, maybe do it every other day. Look at the news in your back office and really get to know your back office. Because coming out of Summit, again, what triggered with me is continually go back to the back office. Don't try to recreate things. Everything you need is back there. And so if you get stumped, go back. Know your back office too. So when you're thinking about onboarding coaches, know where to find the first 30, master the first 30, master the compensation plan so that you can easily talk about it. So just getting yourself familiar. So anything else I don't think that I missed for January, whatever month it is. Obviously hope now it's going to slow down. People are going to go to school. And so right now, this one thing's something I wanted to bring up, because right now, and I remember always in the training that we've had, this is when people are really watching you, and because they really, everyone falls off right now. You get tired. People don't feel like doing it. Right now is what's really going to impact your business for next year, because they're going to watch, and when they're ready in September, as soon as everybody's kids go back, hopefully they're going to jump on with you. And so the momentum they see you have right now is going to trigger them to be like, yes, please ask me. I'll be ready in September. That can kind of be your follow-up of, maybe after the kids go back to school, would you be ready? So, but leading by example now is what's going to make them inspired to make sure, they come to you on your next round, hopefully. All right, so go ahead, Kate, give us your rundown on Summit.
Okay, I made a PowerPoint.
Oh, great. I didn't even know I was speaking. Jesus.
I just did it. It's not good. Don't worry. I just did it a few minutes ago. I was taking my notes and copying them. But first I got to recall how to share screen, which is right here. Share my desktop. You guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the first thing I will. So I went to Summit last year. This was my second Summit. I will say I like Nashville better than New Orleans just as a city. But the one thing I'll say about Summit is when you do go, or if you do go, you feel all the feels. So that's what this page is. I think the first year I went, I just was overwhelmed and found myself crying a lot during all of the speakers. And this year I felt that again. Then I was angry at myself. Then you just go through all of these, what am I doing with my life? And I don't know, or at least I do. So the first thing I'll say about Summit is it's emotionally taxing. I don't know. That's my takeaway on that. The other thing that I think you hear over and over there is to just be who you are and do what you do. And they talk a lot about how we can get kind of caught up and distracted and watching other coaches and seeing what they're doing. And even in life, I do this a lot, right? It's always, what's everyone else doing? Am I doing the right thing? But it doesn't fucking matter. Just be who you are and do what you do. And so you hear that over and over. The other thing that Will Smith was not there, but this picture was on the web. The other thing, I think one of the top 3 things I walked away with was just needing to be able to step into that fear. And I suck at this. I really suck at this. But you hear over and over again, if you just step into the fear, step out of that comfort zone, that's oftentimes when you're stepping into your greatness. And so you continue to hear that. You hear these stories from whether it's coaches or motivational speakers who've had other events in their life. You hear them talk about when they step out of that fear and how, how they thrive and flourish after they do that. So feel the fear. You can feel it. Everyone's going to feel it. Don't worry about it, but just do it anyways. I wonder if people ever stop feeling fear. I still feel fear every time I post. I don't know, Joanne and Nissan, if you still feel fear when you post. I do. But they tell you just feel it, do it anyway. So there's a ton of personal development, and one of the speakers, I forget who this was, I think it was one of the coaches, said, one of the things that might sound really cheesy, but they do it every day, is to just do positive affirmations. Think success and not failure. Visualize, yourself and where you want to be, and surround yourself with the right people. And the 5 people you spend the most of your time with in life are likely at the same level of success or what they want to get out of life as you are. And so I laugh at this because it sounds so cheesy. And all I can think about when they say that is watching this little video, which, oh no, is he going to work? Is this video.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
And that's just what I think we need to tell ourselves every day, is what I got out of that. So I say that to myself and laugh every morning now. We had this speaker, Brendan Bouchard, who, what's the name of his book? I don't even remember.
The Golden Ticket, or Life's
There you
Golden
go.
Ticket.
Life's Golden Ticket. So he had, a near-death experience in his life, which sort of pushed him into his greatness, I guess, if you will, or reevaluate his life and made him want to go for it. But he talked about these 5 musts for motivation and success, and they're listed here. Raise your ambitions and refuse to settle. Never limit your vision, and live each day with intention. Joanne always says this. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And don't fear rejection. He talked about this. Oh no, that wasn't him. That was this other guy. But don't fear rejection. Jump in and face your fear. It's the edge of your growth. And he talked about listening through your fears, and how when you're so scared, sometimes it's hard to hear coaching you might be getting from others because you're just so focused on the fear. You're not even listening. You're hearing, but you're not listening. And then find something to fight for, right? Have that. One of the things they talk about, with Beachbody too, is find your why. What is that thing that you're fighting for? And then he gave us this quiz you could take to find out more about yourself. And there's some resources here that you could look at. And then Shalene talked from Shalene Extreme. And she was giving kind of social media tips. And she had 3 tips. One was borrowed words are for the birds. So, when you start copying everything that others are doing, the algorithms in the social and digital space are not giving you as great of a ranking as when you're using the same words as everyone. So one of her tips was borrowed words are for the birds, be unique. Don't tell people you're about to sell me. She talks about this notion of curiosity marketing. So I think of it as playing hard to get a little bit. Like you just leak out details. You don't say the names of the company and the product so they need you, right? Because if I am out there screaming Beachbody, Shift Shop, do this, do that, everybody can just Google that and find out about it and could just buy it their own off of there. They may not even have to use you. So try to just leave little breadcrumbs and hints about things and let that curiosity build so they come to you and ask you a question. And when they do that, you can make sure that when they decide to do it, they do it with you because you're giving them all the info. And she talked about likes wear thin and questions are what wins. So I do this. Stupid. Like you post something and then you're like, oh my God, how many likes did I get? Why do I only have 5 likes? Can it break 100 likes? Whatever, right? And she said, it's not the likes that matter. What matters are the questions. And in social now, it's less about how many likes a piece of content gets and more about the engagement that it gets that makes it push it to the top of your followers or your friends' feed. So the more people are commenting and questioning on your post, the more it's going to show up in other people's feeds. And when you answer those questions, answer them in a direct message so other people might ask, other things. And these were just some of her little quotes that I liked. Run your own race and focus on your own business. Like it's easy to even be at Summit and be like, oh my God, all these ladies are like 15-star diamonds. There's these millionaires all over the stupid floor. And I'm like, oh, I got a $30 paycheck this week, whatever, right? For the Beachbody thing. So, really drown tune the noise out of everything else and just focus on your own business. she said, God's gift to us is potential, and our gift back is what we do with it. Make sure you're working from the inside out. And then Darren Hardy talked to us. He, all of the materials, a video of his speech and the PowerPoint that he shared, I posted in Coach Talk. So if you guys, I think you can probably just search Darren Hardy in there and you'll get links to it. So I won't spend much time recapping what he said, because you can just watch it. But he talks a lot about how, hard success is, that people think it's always easy, but it's really the mundane, stupid things you have to do that's not exciting, not sexy. The inviting every day, that's what leads you to success. And it's earned sort of one day, one step, one decision at a time. You can't own success. Rent is due every day. You have to work at it every day. It's not what you know, but what you do with what you know that helps you grow. And so often people just need to be reminded rather than instructed, right? So if we have other coaches on our team that, we see a lot of potential, and it's not us telling them what to do, it's just being there and connecting with them, even if it's just, hey, how's your day going, right? Reminding them as opposed to instructing. They said, I don't know who said this. Oh, maybe he did. The key to success is massive failure. So just keep trying different things and do something every day that scares you. Be the leader and the coach others can look to. And none of us can make any coaches do anything. You can only just give them the tools. So just sharing the tools that we have, showing your passion for it, and, being authentically you. And then I was like, oh, Nissan's started talking about new products. Yeah, they also tell you about new products, which is all over Coach Talk. And you also work out, like you get up a couple of, each day you can get up at 6 a.m. and do workouts with the trainers. They're like on a big stage and you work out, and Laura can tell you we sweat our butt off outside in Nashville. But that's my recap.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good recap.
Yeah, that was great. That was a very good detailed. Will you post that in Coach Talk so that people can
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great, Kate. Thank you.
And I think one of
Awesome.
the biggest things too, and I've always lived by this, you have to visualize what you want from this business. If you don't visualize what you want, you don't know what you're working for every day. You really don't, because visualizing, and don't be afraid to visualize, and then even get further with the vision boards is what people do with those visualizations. So it becomes real. But really, where are you? Where are you sitting? What does it look like? What are you looking at? What are you doing with the money you've earned? How are you helping your coaches? How are you leading your coaches? What does that team look like? Are you in the top 10? Visualize it. That's what the one girl every day said with her positive affirmations. And actually, Ruth, that girl who's in the #1 network right now, #1 in the network, she came out of nowhere too. She said the same thing. She's like, I literally got up, and one of her morning things was to visualize every single morning what it looked like to be a 15-star diamond in her eyes. What was she doing with that money? How was she leading her coaches? What was it? So I totally agree with that whole visualization, which is it seems stupid sometimes. You're like, or even putting them on a mirror, like people said, on a white, on a little sticky note, positive affirmations. I believe that the more and more people, everybody says, just like the business, it works, right?
Yeah.
What else? Anybody else have questions for Kate? Her experience. What did you think, Laura, as a first timer?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like she said, the first year is kind of overwhelming and you weren't really sure what you're getting yourself into. And literally I was about to back out maybe like a week prior, just because I was like, I don't even know if this is for me. And I had to make some hard choices and sacrifices. And that was probably the best choice that I did. I decided, you know what the heck? What am I going to lose if I go? It was probably one of the best experiences. Overall, I was overwhelmed. I cried, like Kate said she did the first year. I'm like, why am I crying? Get it together. But no, I absolutely got a ton out of it. You just have to kind of become a believer, and there's so many different types of people there. And it's like they're walking around, like you said, top people to like people that are just starting or kind of haven't really started. So there's all walks of life there. And you're like, if they can do it, I can do it. And you just have to believe that you actually can help people. Like, just believe that, yes, you have something to offer to somebody, and just go for it. And we always say, fuck it, just do it. And, you know, just being a believer is a game changer. And personal development, which I kind of put to the side like 3 months ago, I can, you know, go back 3 months before and know that, you know, I was, you know, posting on a daily basis and I felt like confident, and then I kind of let that off to the side. And then the minute that you were in these, you know, the big auditoriums and, you know, stadiums with these people, and they were talking about being motivated and reading personal development, that was kind of like personal development for me that time. It really is true. It makes a huge impact. It's a game changer. So I think that, I know Joanne said she makes that kind of like her top list thing that she does every day. And I think that is kind of crucial. So I'm glad I went, and I don't regret going.
Awesome, right? Having a plan for sure every day. And I think Carl's his last speech where he brought out that chair and he was like, we talked about that girl that is doing shift shop. I think a lot of times people want to wait. You want to be like, well, I'll do Beachbody coaching, but I'm going to wait until I get my results. I'm going to wait until I feel more success. I'm going to wait. And he brought up the girl who's in shift shop on the stage in that big workout, who's over 320 pounds, has already lost 50 pounds and is feeling amazing. And she is a coach leading other people, because all we are is people helping people. We're not claiming to be the experts. We're not claiming to be perfect. We're just people that found a lifestyle that works for us, and all we want to do is share it. So nothing's personal. People don't want to do it with you. They're not ready, whatever. So, and he said, does she not have I love this. Does she not have the right to help somebody else lose weight because she's 300 and she's obese? You know, so does she not have the right? But she has obviously found what works for her. 50 pounds is huge for somebody at that size, you know, and I didn't see the workout, but Kate and Laura, tell us a little bit about the emotion of her.
She wasn't crying, but she was just like full-fledged 100% going for it, and nothing was holding her back. I mean, yeah,
I was crying.
I know.
She like made me want to cry, because I'm like, first of all, you guys, it was like 100 degrees, 100% humidity, and you're just dying. And this girl who is literally like, I think it would be hard for her to walk. She was so large, and she was up there just busting it with that trainer dude. What's his name again? Something.
Chris Downing, yeah.
Yeah, and she's just going for it. And then I'm crying because I'm like, oh my God, she's just like, you know, like I get upset if I'm like haven't been posting as many videos because I feel like I'm not where I want to be physically. And I'm like, this chick's just up on the stage in front of all these people.
Right.
Yeah, it was good.
That's awesome. And again, so she has the right. So I guess sometimes when we get stuck in our heads that, well, am I good enough? Can I really do this? All that, you're just another person trying to help another person. That's really is it, by inspiring them. And the only way we can inspire them is by showing them. And because it's social media, that's how we do it. Otherwise, we'd be in a class next to our best friend saying, hey, come on, you can go, just come to class with me. Come on, Joanne, meet me at Spin. Please, 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 please. Until she'd be like, all right. You know, I mean, really, that's what we're doing, just in a different format now, something at home. So always feel like I do believe you have the right to help other people. You know, you have the right, no matter how you feel about yourself, that actual, wherever you're at, that is a gift. If you're willing to share that, you do have the right. That is helping people, no matter good, bad, ugly. Everything you share, I truly believe, is helping somebody else, because it shows your vulnerability. It shows that you're real. It shows that even though, right, you're trying to create the success about yourself, it really isn't about you. It's about helping other people. So living authentically, like one of you said, is really that true thing. Just live you every day. And what does that look like? We all know it doesn't look like this. It's like this, right? So be free to just, you know, and if you take a day off, you take a day off. You just, you know, always know in your head where you're kind of going. And I think we all know that. As a team, it's like, right, when each of us talks, when you talk with your upline coach, it's like, right, well, where am I failing? Well, I would say 90% of us, it's in the invites, right? We're finally, as a team, think about this, and it takes years. We're finally, as a team, we're mastering the workouts. That's like become one of our intrinsic behaviors, right? We don't really have to think about it. It's pretty much an 80-20 rule no matter what. We're getting the food down. That probably doesn't come as easily for all of us, but that's starting to become more of thing we don't have to think about. But for the last 2 or 3 years, however long you've been doing this year, you have to really concentrate on that. So inviting is like hard. You're like, that's like the last thing on my list, right? You're like, I just got to take care of me first. Drinking a shake every day, getting over the fact you got to get out the damn blender and do that shit up. But you know how much better you feel. So again, just always keep that in your mind, your vision, what you want out of this, where you're going, and again, the inviting. So that is our heart. And so again, I was talking to, I can't remember who, my brain is it's like a carnival right now. About the follow-up, and I want to teach everybody what I'm just talking about, that every 2-day thing, which we'll do on another call, but look for that, because I think if we can get a quick process to invite follow-up, quit overthinking it. That's why I'm making very simple invites right now. Like I said, I'm doing my cold market. They're super simple. They're probably what everyone would be like, don't do, get to know the person first. But right now, I just want to know if they want to have a conversation. You know, I just want to know if they're wanting to invite, if they want to chat. If not, you're not going to sit there and struggle, and kind of have a 2-week or a week process and move everybody along. Because I think we kind of get stuck, right, waiting for that person. You're like, come on. I see they saw it. Right? And there's no closure. So it's like closure, move on. And teaching that process. So again, what Christina's saying is what I'm seeing coming out of Summit again is it's discipline, consistency, and as a leader, you got to be 2 steps ahead to make sure you're showing people in that fashion. Because right, it's kind of showing, duplicating, and keeping it simple. All of it, the whole process is just a bunch of simple, small tasks done on a daily basis. So if we think about it like that versus this overwhelming, we want to think about it in those very short spurts and give that to other people like that. So, but we'll do that in another call. All right, Joanne, what's your takeaway from Summit?
You know, what I shared with some of my coaches was, can you guys hear me okay? Because I keep getting a flash that my thing's unstable. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's a little
okay, so the first year I went, I was like, oh my God, balls to the wall. I'm getting on stage. Everybody get out of my way. I can do this. I'm a career woman. I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing this, right? Then the second year I went and I was like, I'm a total failure. I said I should be on stage and I'm not, I don't know what I'm doing. And, you know, and then I really started to beat myself up because I set all these high expectations for myself. And it took me, so that was like July. It took me till then, this past January, to actually stop and go, you know what? I need to stop putting all these freaking expectations on myself, and I need to reel this in, and I need to focus on the things that need to be done, and I need to go back to this being about helping other people, and remember why I started in the first place, because it changed my freaking life. Like it saved my life. It saved me as a mother. It saved me as a friend. I mean, it saved me in my marriage. It's me as a daughter. It changed my entire life and revamped to live out the rest of the best version I can be. So as soon as I went back to that, I dropped all those expectations. So then when I went to Summit this year, it truly was about, honestly, all the people that were there with us. Like I was more about watching everybody else's emotions and seeing, you know, how Laura had to pretend to have her daughter's birthday a couple days before because she's young enough not to know when her real birthday is. And, you know, and see Kate show up for the second time and be like, okay, yeah, I travel for my job, world-time job. I'm raising 2 kids. I'm trying to be the best wife I can be. Was in New York for a week and showed up at Summit, right? Like those, watching Sherry just soak it all up. So for me, it was about everybody else around me there at Summit. And when I came home, and I think I said this to you, Nissan, for sure. I know I did. I was like, it was just, I felt I was at peace. Like I wasn't worried that I wasn't on stage, then I wasn't this 15 star. And I wasn't thinking, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. I know what I'm not doing, right? I know what I'm not doing every single day, right? I know I can run as fast as I want to run in this business, or I can just go as slow as I want. It doesn't matter. I already know what I'm not doing. And for the first time, I was like, okay with that. But even more so, why I felt I was at peace was because you can't take this business out of me if you try. So even if you guys feel the pressure of what you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be inviting and power hour and this and that, and all these things that, again, for me, it's like my brain, as Nisa that I was talking, she's like, very literal, right? So if you tell me I got to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, I should be doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if I'm not doing that, then I take it and I'm hard on myself about it. But what I realized is that this is never going to be out of my life ever. Like, I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to say I'm done. I love it. It's, again, changed my life. So if sometimes I'm not at the top of my game, it's okay. But what I can share is wherever I'm at in my game, right? So when I'm feeling, a lot of pressure and a lot of stuff is going on, you share that. There's so many people out there that can relate with that because it's real. So I came out, I'm just feeling at sharing my story without it being other than what's really going on and what's really going on with me. And that I believe that we're put on this earth to consistently give others. And if I'm consistently giving and I can surround myself around people like all those amazing people at Summit, then, what else could you ask for? Honestly, what else can you ask for in this world? All these amazing, positive people around you that are working on being the better version of themselves, and for sure not the perfect version, because again, I don't even know who made up this perfect version. I don't love to meet this perfect person that is defined. But anyway, so I just really felt at peace, and I think it gave me like just a big hug, knowing that it comes every year and that our team is going to get bigger every year. And every new coach that goes, we all get to go, oh my gosh, let's just watch her absorb it all or him absorb it all. And as we all grow, right? One of us might be on stage one day. One of us, it's like we can all promote and love each other no matter where we're at in this journey. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I honestly, I wouldn't want to spend my time in any other community than this. So when people ask me what I do, I really don't go out. I really don't do much. But when I do go, I'm going with you guys, right? I'm going in this environment. To me, that it's something that I know is never going to go away. So it's very comforting. So to sum up everything I just said, again, I just felt really peaceful coming out, knowing that it's going to happen and that this team is great and every different place and running at a different pace. And that's the beautiful part of it too. And I think it's all we all continue to share and just do it together. I think it's great.
Awesome.
I can just keep rattling off as I'm listening to my daughter tell me that her fishing pole is, my line is hot. They're all out fishing.
I think too,
Anyways,
you always realize coming out of Summit is, and how I've always driven this business. I have never, ever, 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 never will be one person that's going for the 1,000 customers. There's people in here that customers.
Yeah, no,
so I
don't
always
want to be a tip.
And I think that with our team, and I think obviously, as you just bring in coaches, to me, it's always quality over quantity. So don't get overwhelmed thinking you have all of this quantity of, you hear, sometimes can be intimidating when you're watching other coaches and they're getting all these SC points and they're getting this trip and they're getting that. And you're like, what the fuck? Where's my bobblehead? So don't get caught in that, because I go back to, and I'm very much like this. And sometimes I probably slow down too much, but I'm like one person at a time, man. Sometimes it's all you can handle. And that's why, again, they always go back to helping 3 to 5 people a month. 3 people makes you hit your goals. 3 people is definitely manageable. Really helping them gets results. Just focusing on the quality of those 3 individuals. That's it. Don't think of it any more than that.
Whenever you feel overwhelmed, you just go back to the basics and remind yourself why you started in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Because you started and you wanted to coach because you got your own results, or you enjoy the journey and the process of staying on that path, right? So we're going to go off and on, this journey that we're on. But yeah, and so in sharing that and letting other people have that same feeling, to your point, Nissan, why wouldn't you want to share it with at least 3 people a month? Why wouldn't you want people coming on your team and doing this with you? because I mean, you're consistently giving and loving to others always. And that's an amazing feeling, right? I mean, there's no difference, you know, I mean, I had to go to a wake before I got on the road here, and, you know, I was exhausted, and this family, they have 116 siblings, 116. And so they didn't have time to set up their mother. They lost their mother, and they didn't have time to set up the hall. So, I mean, Aiden and I jumped in the car, and we got donations for breakfast and desserts, and set up, you know, me and 2 other friends set up the whole EFW hall and decorated it purple. And we pulled this together within 24 hours. And it's like that gift of just giving in that way, we all love, right? We want to do. It's no different than this business and what we're doing. We're going to help somebody get healthy and feel good about the people that they're surrounding themselves with. So the more you complicate it, then it just, it's not coming from the right place in your heart. And that's why I think this summit, I was like, it really is this, it can be this peaceful journey if you just keep giving and keep sharing. And the people are going to come to you because you're going to project that. And they want to feel that way, you know?
Yeah, give yourself, I think, the right to share, because as a coach, you do have the right to share it. Just
Absolutely.
no different like any other, like I haven't done. You have the right to share it. And if it wasn't something that you actually had the chance to make money off of, this is where I think there's this little mental mind, if you will. Like I have that bun thing. I keep telling everybody that I bought it, you know, the ponytail, and then you like this. I mean, it's like freaking amazing. It really is. Now, I don't make any money off that. I have told every single person I have seen since I got back from Summit, and I try every day. I see people, I'm like, oh my God, look at this bun, dude. It's like, and it's crazy how great it works. And I make no money, right? I'm not affiliated. So it's like we get caught up in this whole kind of money thing sometimes. You're like, well, if I was Shakeology, I'd be like, oh my God, I just drank this shake. I freaking feel amazing. It's awesome. And in the beginning, you used to do that because you're like, you don't really care because you really did feel so great. And you're like, fuck them all. They're going to feel how I feel, right? And then we start to get kind of stomped on and told no, and it's a scam and blah, 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 right? And you're like, okay, no, never mind. Forget my shake. Because, right, there's this whole, right, get stomped on, and you're like, right, everyone's like yelling at me because there's going to be this money set. But you're not thinking that. In all of our hearts, it should never be about that. It's about, no, I just really want you to drink Energize because it's freaking, I mean, I didn't even work out till 7 o'clock tonight. And if it wasn't for Energize, I would have never done it.
Right. And those people who tell you that it's a scam and have all negative comments, be like, great, you know, whatever. Get out of my way, because again, they're going to have comments about that. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know who I had this, Holly, she's not on here. I had this conversation with her. She's like, you know, and the girls, you know, the soccer moms, I go, great. You tell that soccer mom, you know what? Well, deal. I feel amazing. I lost 3 pounds. I love the people I'm hanging out with. I have an amazing relationship with my husband. We go on date nights now. I feel good about myself. So if this is a scam I'm drinking, I'm shit all day long. So get out of my way. Get out of my way. There's plenty of other people out there that want to be helped. Yep. So when people are negative, I love it. I'm like, yeah, okay, what else are you going to complain about? You know, right. Got something.
And one more thing I keep thinking too about from that thing is they're always talking about that positive peer pressure. So with Beachbody having this huge challenge group, I don't know if you guys seen it, but obviously Beachbody's going to run it, and we're not running like where we're all in it, but everyone's starting the Shift Shop on July 24th, all this stuff. Feed off that momentum because they're going to see it not only by you, but everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so when you say, you know, this workout is helping me, whatever, with leaving the name out of it, it's going to, that energy is already being presented. We've got the whole network helping us boost that energy online. People hearing about it. What is the Shift Shops? One other my friends is doing it too. What is this? You know, so use that momentum of the company kind of helping us. And you kind of have to think that way about with their infomercials too. That helps us. Because I often say, I'm like, well, have you ever seen the infomercial on TV? And they're like, oh yeah. So, you know, just a way to, instead of being embarrassed, because Joanne and I really were embarrassed in the beginning. We were like, we will never say the word Beachbody, ever.
Oh, yeah, I was adamant. Remember me? I was like, I'm not using that word Beachbody. I don't like it. I'm not doing any of that. No.
Yeah. So, and I think that is part of the fear, though. I mean, it is kind of a fucked up name. You're like, I can't say Beachbody. It sounds like an ass. I mean, right? Well, but once you associate the company not with the actual words, you're like, I freaking love it. I love their standards. I love their products. I love that they come out with something new every 6 months. I mean, and I think I think knowing that quality of the company that you are affiliated with boosts your confidence to be like, I don't give a shit what these people say. Go do your other little rap with the saran shit around you. You know, go do whatever it is you do, because I love the products that I'm supporting. I love the people behind them.
Yeah.
Right? I love Darren O'Lean with his knowledge. I mean, that man will never stop finding us superfoods. If we follow him for the rest of our lives, we'll be healthy. You know, he gives us that knowledge. So Isabel Deichler, I mean, she's amazing with this kids stuff. She's going to be coming out with more, her passion for it. So again, just love what you do and don't care. I know, and Kate talked a lot about the fear with what Darren Hardy said, and just drop it, let go of all those fears. Who cares? You don't have room for one negative person in your life, not one. And again, this is where it's like, you know what, when you start your real like page or whatever you're doing, people have a choice then. You're not asking them friends where you have to see it all the time. No, if you don't want it, move along. You know, and sometimes if it is close family and friends, that's a boundary. You just don't talk about it with them anymore and you move on. You know, you're like, great, I love what I do. I love my shakes. And, you know, if somebody else drinks Isogenics or something else, you're like, great, we'll just agree to disagree. You do Isogenics, I do Beachbody. You know, because you can't get, I think some of those things are what holds you back, right? You're like, well, my friend's doing this now. And so-and-so's doing this now. And now I look stupid like just one more person. Just live your passion, live your everyday, and share it as much as you can. I think that's our key. All right, anybody else want to share anything? Caroline, why don't you, you'll love this. Next, on our next call, why don't you talk about your free groups or something like that, or your 5-day Shakeology group, because that worked out really well for you.
Okay.
And you're probably
that and how you find your inspiration to go live as often as you do.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. So her free, 5-day, because you'll probably run another one. So if people want to see, and she really did, she had a good luck with that one. I'm going to do that too. Start getting the sample packs out, you know, because again, that's still going to up your volume in your business, getting to people to try it. Same thing with the markers for Shift Shop. I will tell you, it makes a difference having the real ones. I'm glad I bought them. They're $14.95, but having them, because they do mean something. I think I will write something on them. I think that's what they're going to be doing the big group. Write on each pad what it means to you, because you're constantly like tapping them and climbing to the next one and stuff. So again, just a thought to promote with people doing Shift Shop. All right, well, thank you. Let's take a picture.
Wait, I gotta wait, and then one more thing, or two more things I want to say. One is, don't forget to get together a team for your team, because you have to register before the end of July, and then do in August. So it's just a fun way to do something together with your team. So don't forget to do that. And then Caroline, I wanted to just give you a shout out, because I loved in one of your last live videos how you took ownership over going back to this Beachbody thing. You are like, listen up, people. I am running this business and I am this and I love it and I feel great. You spoke with such conviction, and I just wanted you to know that I could feel it coming through, and it was awesome. And I love it because I know you work a full-time job, and I know you're a busy woman and you're doing a lot, but like, again, get out of the way, people. I'm doing this. I love it because I want to help people and I feel amazing, and you nailed it. So I just wanted to tell you. Yeah. Because it's not enough when I'm commenting, right? These days you try to comment on everybody's stuff and it's not enough, and I don't talk to you as often. So I wanted you to know it was awesome. I was like, oh my God, I could feel it through the phone. It was so good.
Yeah, somebody got me really riled up, and it was like 2 days later, and I'm like, I gotta get it out of my system now. And now that person, every time I'm on live, it's only been 2 or 3 times since then, but that person is always on there watching, and they don't know that I can see them on there, right? And I'm like, wow. So
hello, we know that. It's all the ones that are like, right. Again, and let's remember to close this call because I got to jump off. I'm here to visit Mom and Dad, but
wait, can everybody just look at Caroline's little dog in the background?
He's my foster dog. If anybody wants to adopt him, he's up for adoption.
Oh, he's so cute.
I'm good with dogs. But remember, I said no to Nissan for 1 year. Remember, and we should let her again. I said no to her for 1 year. So for all the people that are watching you and are saying no and not what you're doing, they're coming around. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. All right, guys, my life is unstable. guys are all frozen on my end.
Okay. All right. Well, great call, you guys. Again, reach out if you need any help on anything. We're trying to put as much information in Coach Talk so we can start some files, start some things. Then we'll start to organize it even more so that we have these simple, duplicatable systems that we can hand off to our future coaches. So, all right, take a picture. Hold on. Everybody smile. Uh-oh, ready? Cheese. Get your daughter in there, Kate. There we go. Ready? Cheese. Uh-oh, hold on. All right, we got a ton. Yay!
Bye, guys.
Bye. Guys.